All right. Hello, everybody. This is Bob again. And today I'm going to be talking about the Eerie collection. Now, what's funny about this video is about a week ago, I recorded one with volume one. But for some reason, that didn't record. So I just sat there and talked for like 20 minutes without anything recording, and that was hilarious. So instead of doing that one again, I'm just going to look at this one. Because essentially they're like the same thing. You're getting, short stories, short horror stories, pre-code horror. And these are the collections of that, which are pretty awesome. Now, in the first video that no one will ever see because it now doesn't exist, I talked about how, as a kid, my parents had gotten us one of these EERIE magazines. And I remember reading it, and there was a story in it. And again, maybe I was like 10 years old or something like that. And the story actually like scared the hell out of me. There was something about it where, I don't know, it kind of just like rang true that, this stuff could be like possible in some way or something like that. I don't know. I was a kid. My parents never knew what they were getting me when they would buy these random books from garage sales or wherever they were picking these things up. We just always had a stack of random comics, just a huge wide variety of stuff. So I remember reading this story, and of course, again, there was like a house fire. All of this stuff was destroyed. And I actually didn't even know it was an EERIE magazine. I didn't remember what the title of the magazine was. And I had always looked for that story again, right? Just because I remembered it from, being a young kid or whatever, reading it at night under a blanket with a flashlight. And I wanted to see it again. And I, started collecting these things. And lo and behold, the first story in here is the one that I was talking about, called The Cave of the Druids, right? And, upon rereading, I'm like, okay, there was not much here. But, I like, fantasy adventure or medieval type stuff or whatever, or Roman gladiators as what this is, Roman soldiers here and everything. And it dealt with, some magic and demons and occult and all of this stuff. And when I saw it, I was just like, holy shit, this is it. And it blew my mind. And of course, after rereading it, I'm like, what the hell was I scared of as a kid? I will say this. They say that, like in the beginning here, like we're getting these reproductions of the entire issue, right? So here we have all the stories that we're going to be getting from EERIE number 6, okay? But a lot of these stories that I read here are not ones I remember. I remembered something else about a demon, and unfortunately that is in here. And I really thought that I only owned one of these as a kid, but apparently that wasn't it. I must have owned another one, and I don't know if I'll ever find that, but I'll keep collecting these until that pops up or whatever. But again, just black and white artwork here, which is just gorgeous. So many different artists here doing stuff. It is horror anthology stuff. This is just like the magazines that I show you, like the Vampirus Carmella and Shudder magazines, right? They're still doing that today in the same vein, only they're like more modernized stories. Artwork on the same level. To an extent, I do prefer the stuff that you see here. Looking at this, I feel like we're already looking at some Neil Adams again. And we most likely are. And I will find that out, right? Yeah, so Neil Adams here, because his artwork is always great. And as a matter of fact, that's funny because, so I also loved Tales from the Crypt. And Tales from the Crypt was a comic series as well as the HBO series from back in the 90s. And I had been rewatching the Tales from the Crypt episodes before I started reading this. And this was remade into one of the Tales from the Crypt episodes. And I always found that funny because the show is Tales from the Crypt, but they were, if you look at the credits, they would tell you they're buying the stories from like the EERIE magazines or Creepy or whatever was out at that time. And this one was actually directed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it's this old man who is in love with this woman. And he's extremely rich. So he's paying this doctor to like give this guy parts from this younger good looking guy, right? So like he wants to be younger so that he can be with this woman that he loves. So like they'll replace his head and then they'll replace the arms and the legs as he goes on, because like she keeps making comments like, oh, if only you were stronger, or only if you were faster, and things like that. And in the end, he ended up like switching bodies like completely, and the woman didn't, the woman ended up going with the younger guy. Or no, I'm sorry, he ended up going with the older man who was now rich, because he thought, so yeah, it was always one of those things where it would, be the ironic ending or something like that. So anyway, this is, the collection of EERIE. These comics are like available for like $15. So, that's why I've been buying them up like crazy, because I love these things, and this is some of my favorite stuff. So guys, again, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya.